Interfaces in Java. So now what is one interface? Interface will have only the function prototypes and all the variables which will be defined under the interface with initialization will be treated as a constant type of variable. So in case of interface, we don't write the function bodies, we will be writing only the function prototypes. So that's why you can say that interfaces are going to contain only the abstract methods. So there is a special features of interface which is making it different from the class. Let us suppose we are going to organize one party for our friends. In that case, we are hiring or we are doing the food preparation outsourced to one of the caterers. So we are making a menu that these are the items will be there in our respective menu. So whenever we are making a deal with the caterer, so in that case we are telling that we require food number 1, food number 2, food number 3 and say food number 4. We are not mentioning what is the respective recipe to prepare those foods. That means we are defining only the function prototypes, not defining the function bodies. Now it will be the headache or it will be the responsibility of the respective caterer to make the food ready according to the recipe they might be knowing, and they should present that food in front of us when the party will be on. So that is the concept. So that is here in case of interfaces we will be writing different methods, only the prototypes will be written, not the respective method bodies. So let us suppose we are going to define one interface, that is a bank account. In that case we are having some set of methods will be there. What are the operations that you can perform on the bank account? That is the account balance check, that is one method. Depositing the money, that is another method. Withdrawing the money, that is another method. Checking the current balance, that is might be the another method. So you see we are having multiple different operations that you can carry out on a bank account. So whenever we define one interface against this bank account, we will be mentioning this function prototypes without their respective bodies. So that is the concept of interface. An interface is a collection of abstract methods. That means only the prototypes will be there. A class can implement an interface, and we will use the word implements. Remember, implements keyword to use an interface. That means to implement one interface in a class, I require to use the keyword implements. We cannot instantiate an interface because the methods are not defined and it does not contain any constructor. Multiple inheritance concepts can be implemented using these interface concepts in Java. When a class is implementing an interface, all the methods which are present in the interface must be defined in the respective implementing class. So let us go for one practical demonstration where we will be showing all these concepts into details, writing the codes, executing and all to clear your conception better. In this demonstration, we shall discuss and we shall write code on interface in Java. So at first we are going for one interface definition. So my interface name is my interface 1. So public interface my interface 1, I'm just defining two functions here. From Java 1.8 onwards, interface can also contain function with the function bodies if they are of type default or static. So let us define such functions here. So in this way we have defined my interface 1. Let us go on defining my interface 2, which will inherit my interface 1. So I'm going to define another one. my interface 2, and which will extend interface, that is our add my interface 1. So public interface my interface 2 extends my interface 1. Remember, from interface to interface we will be writing extends, from class to class we will be writing extends, from class to interface we will be writing our implements. That means whenever one interface will get implemented by a class, we will be using the keyword implements. Otherwise, between two interfaces or between two classes, we will be using the keyword extends here. So now in this case, we are just going to define these two functions. Okay, so just I'm going for the revision. So here we are having my function 1 1, my function 1 2. 1 stands for interface 1, and this one stands for function 1, method 1. So in this way, 1 2 1 1 1, and then 1 3, and then 1 4. It is of the type default. It is of the type static. So here also we are defining two integer quantities. We know that in case of integer, it will behave as if it is of constant type. So here in this case, we are also defining two member variables. Now we shall go for one class. So I'm giving this name as my class 2, my class 3 rather, which will implement the interface my interface 2. So what will happen in case of my class 3 implements my interface 2, all the unimplemented methods are getting printed, are getting defined. Just the respective bodies are to be written here. So what we can do, we are supposed to write their respective bodies. So we are writing that one. Here intentionally I'm just printing the value also. So in this way 1 1 1 2 2 1 and 2 2. Let us go for the main function, and here we are defining my class 3 object. Then ob1 dot my function 1 1, ob1 dot my function 1 3, ob1 dot my function 2 1, and ob1 dot my function 2 2. So they are getting executed. So if I go for the execution, you can find that my function 1 1, my function 1 1, my function 1 2, my function 2 1, and my function 2 2. So they are all executing. What about the 1 3? Let me go for a check. 1 3 here is the default function. So 1 3 here is the default function. So default my function 1 3 is executing, that is getting returned. So I should print that one using system.out.println because it is returning a string. So I shall go for so what about the string which will be returned? I want to print them. So in this way you can find that all these functions are getting executed and the respective values are being done. So now if I want to initialize, say data to 1 is equal to 1000, if I want to try to initialize that one, it cannot be initialized because the final field my interface 2 dot data to 1 cannot be assigned. It will be treated as if it is a constant type. So only the initialization we can do, we have done within this interface. But here where we are implementing this interface, that is in class my class 3, if I want to initialize those member variables which were defined in the interface, they cannot be initialized with some new values. So that is a very important issue. Now you see what is happening. I had another method, that is a my function 1 4. I think you can recall. That was a method called static method. So my function 1 4, you can easily find that my function 1 4 is not coming here. ob1 dot, you see my function 1 4 is not coming. So in that case what we can do, it is a static method. So I shall go for my interface 1 dot my function 1 4 can be accessed from here. So you see in this way, as it is a static method here, so it can be accessed from directly interface name dot. So let me go for the execution. We are finding that the static method is also executing. Next, let me go for another time. I'm going to define another class here. So there is a my class 4. I'm going for another class, my class 4, which is interface. I'm taking this one as my interface 2. Going for the finish. Here we can do what we are doing. We are just defining or implementing some of the methods. So 1 1 and 2 1, we are just mentioning them. Then what is happening? Add unimplemented methods. So session number 1, if I click, then those methods which I didn't implement, so their respective bodies are coming. Otherwise, another option was there, that is make type my class 4 abstract. So that's why, as we are having some methods unimplemented, the bodies we are not writing here, so I'm supposed to make the class abstract. So abstract keyword has come and the red lines have gone out. So now let me go for so here you see we are going for the main function now. Going for the main function. So let me go for my class 4. Let me go for my class 4. ob1 is equal to new. ob1 new. So now whenever we are defining object under this abstract class my class 4, then those two unimplemented methods, the respective bodies are to be written. And this will give us the idea that how to define objects under abstract classes. So let me go for this. I can write any other function body, so that is not an issue, only to make the conception clear. So now we are going to write one main function. So I think main function we have written already, so let me go for the execution, that will be better. So now let us go for this ob1 dot. So let me go for the execution, you can find that. So my function 1 1 is executing with this data, my function 1 2 is executing, then my function 1 3, then my function 2 1, my function 2 2, and also the static function, that is 1 4, is executing. So everything is coming according to our planning. So let us go for another class. Let me show you another important thing. So I shall go for a class, my class 5. So now here we are doing, that is going for finish, my class 5, and here we are defining the main function, and within this main function I'm just defining my interface 1 object. Automatically those unimplemented methods which were there in the interface, if I can define them locally, then obviously the interface objects can also be created under my class 5. This is a 1 1, this is a 1 2. So everything is fine now. So this object has got defined. So ob1 dot my. So let me go for the execution. So they are executing fine. So in this we are getting this idea that how to define interface and how to implement it, how to define interface object, how to define abstract class object, and so on. So let me go for the last example here. So interface demo. You can find here we have defined one interface, that is a vehicle, which is having max speed and wheel count. Two methods are there. Bike is one class which is implementing this vehicle. As a result of that, the max speed method and the wheel count, these two methods are to be implemented. we're defining another class, that is a car, which is implementing vehicle. So vehicle is the interface you can easily find. So that's why this max speed and count, will count, they have got these two methods have got defined here. Now you see, there is a class that is the interface demo. We are having the main function here. We have defined the bike object is equal to new bike, and card object car is equal to new card constructor, and then we are going for bike dot wheel count and card dot wheel count. As this method have got implemented within this bike and car classes respectively, so the respective methods, that is the wheel count, can be accessed from the bike object, bike class object bike, and car class object car here. So if you go for the execution, you can find that maximum speed of bike is this, number of wheels for bike is this, maximum speed of car is this, and number of wheels for car is this. Because you can find that here we're having this max speed, we're having this wheel count. So number of wheels of the car is plus wheel, we are getting this, and also we are printing this one, that is a max speed of bike plus bike dot max speed. So max speed is actually returning this respective value, which is getting concatenated with this max speed of bike and max speed of car. In this way, the outcome is very logical. The output of this program and the respective code I have put side by side so that you can see and you can get the idea. So in this video, we have discussed a lot on this interface, how to implement it, what is abstract class, how to define interface object, how to define abstract class objects, and so on. I think now the conception is clear to you. Thanks for watching this video.